Namaste, everyone, and thank you for joining me once again for another episode of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. I am your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant, sex educator, and life coach with Brave Thinking Institute. Today, I want to talk about something that is hardly ever mentioned and yet incredibly important for our lives, and that is the circadian rhythms. So, on uh, this past Monday, we went from spring went from winter to spring. And as soon as that starts happening, there's all kinds of changes going on in nature that we are also affected by. So it's called the circadian rhythms, and they are very much a part of who we are and what we are as part of nature. So if you look at some of the circadian rhythms and how they affect the rest of nature, trees start to bud, fish start to spawn, birds fly to their designated places and they want to lay eggs and mate, trees blossom. We're all part of that process. I mean, we have a thinking mind, so we can control how much of that we want to participate in, but we most definitely are part of that process. And we want to be part of that process because it's natural to what we are as human beings. I mean, people want to think that we're separate from the earth, but if you think about it, we're made out of earth. All right. Just like the earth, we're 70% water. All the minerals and products that are within us, the enzymes, the nutrients, everything, they're made out of earth. And so we have consciousness. And so people think we're separate from the earth, but we're not. We're absolutely not. So being part of the circadian rhythms and knowing that and aligning ourselves with it leads to healthier living. All right. It's the most natural state to be in when you're part of the circadian rhythms. So, one of the ways of thinking about it is what time you go to bed, what time you go to sleep. Actually, the body is constantly recycling itself. And when you take yourself to bed to say sleep by 10 p.m., and that you're actually sleeping by 10 p.m., 10:30, the latest will say, it is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. when the body actually rebuilds itself. So if you're one of these people who goes to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning every night, you've actually missed that part of rebuilding yourself. And if you don't think that you're rebuilding yourself, think about it. Do you think that's the same body you had when you were 12, 2, 20? No, it's constantly rebuilding itself. So you can rebuild it with nutrients and energies that are serving to it, or you can let it get depleted and not build, and sort of like building the body with on a sand foundation. It's not going to work, or it's going to lead to illness. So understanding where we fit into the circadian rhythms is very, very powerful. And the more we can align ourselves with that, the better for us. Okay. So many of our physiological and psychological needs are brought to the surface during the spring time. And this is, the need for closeness is one. We have the hormones that have make us desire to bond and to have closeness and relationships. All of these are most strongly felt in the spring. You're not imagining it when you want romance, when you want closeness, when you want partnership. Other times of the season of the year, I'm not saying that you don't feel it, but in the spring, because we're part of the renewal and the cycle of life, we feel it then too. So if you have a partner, phenomenal, and express your love with your partner, share with your partner. If you don't have a partner, that's okay. Take time to be with yourself. Okay? Take time to bond with nature. Get outside. So many people never leave their house. And the only time they're out of their house is when they go from their house to the car, from the car to the building they work in, from the building back to the car, then back to the house. They never get outside. You're part of nature. You need to be outside. You need to feel the sun on your face. And when the weather gets a little bit warmer here in New Jersey, you need to take your shoes off and your socks off and go stand or sit or walk around on grass or dirt or even cement for 15 to 20 minutes every day so that you can do some earthing and some grounding and get some earth energy up into your body. You know, it's not a mistake that your feet are very ticklish, and they're ticklish because they have a lot of nerve endings. And those nerve endings are what suck up the earth energy, taking the negative electrons from the earth as we exchange our positive electrons with the earth. So this is a healthy thing to do. And again, part of our living on this earth and being healthy. Now, the more TV you watch, the more you will believe that anything that you need to fix yourself is being sold on TV, and that there's something wrong with being natural. Well, they're selling a product, and if you're buying that, you will never, ever find balance in your life. You have to find the balance within your body as part of the rhythms of nature. Respect your body's needs for this balance and for this alignment with the circadian rhythms, and take the time to be part of nature. Take the time to remind yourself that you are part of this cycle. And if you can do that, say 15, 20 minutes a day, maybe a little meditation in there, some grounding along with it, there will be clarity, balance, and energies in your life working for you that you can never buy from anybody else. It's the time to get close, to align with nature. And the closer you get, the more in line with the circadian rhythms that you get, the happier your body will be. So one of the things you want to do is you want to breathe deeply. Remember to breathe deeply. People are breathing very shallowly these days, and they're only getting the top parts of their lungs, involved. You want to breathe into your lungs. You want to make them work. You want to expand your diaphragm. Okay. And if you say, "Oh, I have allergies," start taking moringa oleifera. Okay. That will improve the immune system, and you will not have to worry about any of that. Your body can do whatever it needs to do to protect you. But again, television would have you believe that it comes in the form of a drug. No, it is on the planet. This is a particular plant. It's called moringa oleifera. I get mine from Isogenics. I love it. It works for me really well. It works for my husband, my daughter-in-law, my son. It works for everybody that I know. It helps them heal. It helps to prevent any kind of immune body deficiencies. And if you need it to breathe deeply, you should most definitely check them out. Okay. The other thing, as I just mentioned, is you want to get your feet on the ground at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, bare feet, to cycle the energy between you and the earth. You want to try to get to sleep at a reasonable hour, because that is you rebuilding yourself. The closer you get to the rhythms of life, to the circadian rhythms of life, the more you're helping your body to find balance and to heal. I hope this served some good purpose for you. I want to wish you happy spring, good times. Take time, breathe, feel the earth underneath your feet. And remember, you are very, very much a loved, needed, wanted part of nature. You have a function to fulfill here, and it's not just to be fodder when you go into the ground. You have gifts, and you want to find those gifts, and you want to share those gifts, because this is the one life you've got. Enjoy every moment of it. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. Join me again next week for another fun topic on pleasure. And I want to namaste all of you. Love you. Be well, my friends. Take care. See you next week. Bye for now.